Good evening, everyone. Okay. Hope you all grabbed your cup of tea. Just seemed fitting that we're talking about Taming the Dragon, that we listened to Taming the Imagine Dragons. Hey ladies, thanks for joining in. Okay, sorry I'm a bit late. We had some new people trying to get in the group, so I was trying to get that approved and organized, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Awesome. Hey Leah, Corey, Nicola, there's Rhonda. Awesome. Okay. Well, we are going to get started. Hi Donna, thanks for joining in. Okay. So this is a lot of information that we're going to cover tonight. I'm going to do my best on relaying it as well as I can so you guys can understand it. I hope that you saw the previous post in the group. There was a little handout called Taming the Dragon that you can follow along, take notes. It's double-sided, so you can print it on 2 pages or double-sided, which will be a good way just to like look at things after. You can always replay this video as well, or if you want more information, I'm referring to 2 books within the content tonight, and I can post links to those books that you can grab them yourself. I want you to all be aware and understand that this presentation tonight and this talk tonight in no way is to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease or anything going on in your body. You have to be your own health advocate, which means you need to be the one to take this information, research it yourself, decide what works best for you. This is compiled by research from people that have used the product, studied the product, all of that kind of stuff. But with that said, everybody's body is different, so not every recommendation will work perfectly for you. That's why you just have to know your body. And it's great to have healthcare practitioners that work with you. So I encourage you to keep seeking out those people that partner with you to make your health the best that it can be. So we've got more tuning in. There's Chris and Jackie, Donna, Ashley, Karina. Awesome. Okay, so yes, I really just want to encourage you guys to find those people that partner with you with your health. For my family personally, we've had lots of natural practitioners that we've worked with, which has been great. But the missing, so that would be our chiropractor, we have a naturopath, we have a functional practitioner, so functional medical type person who uses science like blood tests, urine tests, stool samples, all of that fun stuff, and then looks at the data to see what your body is doing to recommend natural solutions for that. Or the best possible solution. Sometimes it has to be pharmaceutical, but in most cases it can be avoided. And just recently, we're from Red Deer, Alberta, we found a new MD, so a medical doctor, who is amazing and is very open-minded to not just saying, hey, things need to be done on a schedule, you need to take all of this, you need to do all of the things that we're typically told in medical world. And he is very open-minded, and like he basically said he will never give a child an antibiotic unless it's like, you know, kind of the life or death scenario, because it harms our system so much. So it's just, I encourage you. We've been looking for an awesome MD since 2012, since I started looking into this stuff and realizing that we had some missing pieces and we needed those people to help us and to help be advocates for our health. And we finally found somebody, and it's taken 8 years. So it could take longer for you, but I encourage you to not settle. If somebody gives you an answer, don't settle. Keep looking, keep figuring out what is going to be your best course of action for your health and your family's health, because, like, just to be frank, we are the gatekeepers of our homes. So what comes through the threshold of your home is your responsibility, and it's a huge weight on your shoulders. But it's important for us to look after our children's health and our own health, because it impacts generations to come. So I get super hot and heavy and excited about it, but we are going to jump into the main topic, which is taming the dragon and hormones. So it's going to be a ton of information. I will do my best to keep track of comments. If I miss it, forgive me, I will try to get back to you, but just take the information, take some notes, and make sure to do your own research, okay? So I hope you guys all saw at the beginning. Make sure you have your little handout. If you can always print it after. It's in the thread of this group, okay? So the question of the night is, how are women like dragons? So much of this is obvious. We are living furnaces, we're moody, we blow up at the littlest things some days, and then we're calm and controlled the next. We're full of love and service and tremendously loyal to those we love. Some days of the month we are starving hungry. Some days we have headaches and cramps. Some days we take in so much water we puff up with edema and water weight. And sometimes we seem to explode around the middle, or sometimes we're just exhausted and need a lot of sleep. Women can be interesting. So in the film, I don't know if you've seen it, but in the film Training Your Dragon, a boy found a wounded dragon and did all he could to heal and love it. He found the dragon's ticklish spots and areas and loved it, rubbed it. He healed its wounds, helped it learn how to fly again. He found the most importantly that the dragon loved fish. The boy learned that any kind of dragon could be tamed by first taking care of its needs and being kind and loving. So tonight we're going to learn how to balance our hormones so that our fiery dragon is put to sleep and the other side, the kind side, can emerge and take over. We'll create the right menu to feed your inner dragon and keep it alive, healthy, and purring. Okay, so let's dig in. Sorry, excuse me. So taming the dragon. Understanding the role that hormones play and learning to keep them in balance is vital to taming the dragon within. So the endocrine system is a network of glands that secretes chemicals called hormones. So the endocrine glands all have a common, or all have something in common, which is the production of hormones to direct the metabolic functions of the body. Although each gland produces its own particular hormone, they all affect each other directly or indirectly. And we'll start at the top, literally and functionally, with the hypothalamus. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit sciencey, but it's pretty like tamed down. So even people like myself, I'm not super sciencey, I can even understand it. Okay, so just checking our comments. Awesome. So many people think that our hormones control our emotions, but actually it's the other way around. Emotions control our hormones through biochemical changes in the brain. For example, fear is accompanied by the production of a chemical in the brain that makes us alert and ready to flee, while pleasure triggers other chemicals that soothe and calm. Isn't that interesting? We are so used to paying attention to physical symptoms and responding to them that sometimes we ignore or suppress our emotional symptoms. So sometimes we don't even allow ourselves to feel because we're afraid to admit that we are human and we have weakness, and that we deal with stress or traumatic situations like anybody else. Emotions greatly impact our health. If we're suppressing our emotions, it can cause whatever that particular emotion may be to be set so it's to its corresponding organ. You may have heard the anger being stored in the liver or stress in the stomach. So there's lots of research behind where emotions are stored in specific organs in your body. So sometimes using an oil over that specific organ can help to release that. So interestingly, the hypothalamus has a direct connection to the nose and our sense of smell. This means that things we smell pass directly into the brain without interruptions. But in order for it to be recognized by the brain, it must be carried in a lipid. But guess what? essential oils are lipids. So this provides us with a unique and powerful opportunity to impact the brain and body so quickly. Studies have shown scents held below the nose show up instantly in the hypothalamus in brain scans. This is incredible. The science with oils and the brain is unreal. So imagine the good that could do for us. We very rarely have the opportunity to treat all sorts of ills through just the use of aromatherapy. Now, I know we've talked about this in a lot of past videos, but because we're talking aromatherapy, I want to be very specific. The only oils I will ever recommend to deal with the things that we're talking about tonight are Young Living essential oils. And that reason is because the history and the science, the research, the sourcing, all of that behind Young Living has way exceeded any other essential oil company on the market today. Most essential oils are perfume grade, which means they smell nice, but may not have a therapeutic effect in the body. So you need to have the proper testing, distillation practices. It needs to be harvested, at the right time, all of that. So if you want more information about that specific part, it's called Seed to Seal. You can go to seedtoseal.com, and it has a ton of information of why Young Living is the best and why we only recommend their products. Okay, their essential oils specifically for this kind of stuff. So the next time that someone tells you the power of essential oils are all in your head, you should probably smile and just tell them that they're right. Okay, so what's on the menu? So if you check your little menu here, up on the top right, it's talking about the hypothalamus. Okay, so it's going to refer to the oils that we can use for that. So we've listed Release essential oil. So here's Release. It's this beautiful little purple bottle. And Forgiveness for examples of oils to use, okay? But how do you use them? The first step in releasing negative emotion is awareness. So sometimes we have these feelings or we feel anxious, but we need to slow down and sense and know in our body, okay, I feel what? I feel angry, I feel anxious, I feel depressed, I feel sad, and then why, okay? So it's, often we're aware of things that stress us out or overwhelm us, but we often don't know the root of where that comes from behind the emotion. So it's best to work through our emotions one situation, one memory at a time. Take your chosen oil and apply it to your wrists or the back of your neck, and then cup your hands over your nose and mouth and breathe deeply. And it's really seriously just that simple. You just put it in your hand, rub it together. You can apply it on the back of your neck, your chest, wherever. And breathe in. And I'm doing this fast just as demonstration, but you would take your time and just breathe and process. Okay. So forgiveness is forgiving yourself, forgiving others, and letting go of negative emotions, which is a very important part of personal growth. Learning to see the good in any situation and be thankful for what it taught you. If you're dealing with unforgiveness in any area of your life, chances are you're having trouble being emotionally healthy in other areas as well. So Release is the perfect oil for releasing negative emotions stored in the body. It's best used as a secondary oil after you've worked to identify the memories and correlating feelings that need to be released. It's a soft, soapy kind of scent, which sounds weird that it's soapy, but it's just this really soft, nice scent. Couple other oils that aren't on the menu, but that you're welcome to jot down are Harmony. I actually love this oil. I thought I had it on my desk here, but I think it's in my purse. So Harmony, sometimes life just goes crazy. And if you knew our day today, it was one of those days. And sometimes we're just at this tension with others. Sometimes you're not getting along, you have different opinions. Harmony is one of those great oils to apply when relationships feel strained or need support and encouragement. So it just kind of gives you that peaceful calm, which is awesome. So just to note, there was no crazy things happening in my relationships today. It was just something with our business that went totally awry. But that's for another story. Okay, the next one, which is one of my favorites, and I will always have like everywhere all over my house. I have it by my bedside, in my office, in my purse, in my car, in the kitchen. We kind of have them everywhere. And they're not only good for taming of the mothers and the dragons, but also children, husbands, all of it. So Valor is a key oil for overcoming things specific to emotional abuse or recovering from trauma. It's a powerhouse when faced with trial or in a season of adversity. It also just calms the body. It gives you confidence. It's just a really, really strong, powerful oil. So we all feel and have a hold on unresolved feelings of pain and hurt that needs to be brought to the surface. We all deal with things like that at some point in our life. Essential oils can help the body release stagnant anger, sadness, grief, judgment, low self-worth. It's important to remember that essential oils do not do the emotional work for us, but simply assist in the process. So as feelings surface with the application of oils, I suggest that you would practice, like with your healing process, practice your meditation, some prayer, journaling. I like to read a devotion every morning, just all of those simple things, and doing it on the daily as a daily practice really help to kind of work through things, because we're always going to have encounters of emotional things that come up, or trauma, or strained relationships. That's just, we're in a broken world, and that's just what life is about. And we need to be able to use tools and deal with this stuff on an ongoing basis. Okay, so does anyone have a story that they want to share about using an essential oil to help with certain emotional time? So if you're willing to be vulnerable, or even just share a little bit of the details, pop it in the comments. I always have some giveaways. So just share a story of how any emotional oil, any just citrus oil, anything that's helped you through an emotional time. Okay, so we literally could talk all night about emotions. As women, we have many of them. For more in-depth information, you can find so much online. There is a really good book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, and also Releasing Emotional Patterns Within with essential oils. So those are two books that are great if you have personally emotional things that you need help processing, or just people in your life that you want to help support processing. Okay, so moving on, we're going to start talking about the 3 glands that directly affect energy usage in the body, which is the pituitary, the thyroid, and the adrenals. Okay, so those are our next 3 hormones that are listed on your little sheet here. So the pituitary gland is kind of the sleepy dragon. So a damaged pituitary gland can cause the need to sleep a lot, and a lot of other problems as well. So not functioning correctly, other glands and organs not can be caused to not work as well when this is off. Okay, so the pituitary produces several hormones that have the direct effect on the body, including the human growth hormone. Pituitary also sends signals to the ovaries and the testes, to the kidneys to control water retention, the uterus to promote contractions at the time of childbirth, and the mammary glands to produce milk after childbirth. So a damaged pituitary can happen from all sorts of accidents dating back even to infancy. So examples of damage that can arise would be birth trauma, the use of forceps at birth, cesarean birth, shaken baby syndrome. Later causes would be from things like, falling from a tree or a bunk bed, car accidents, sports injuries, all of that kind of stuff. So the pituitary can become inflamed during the hemorrhage or miscarriage. There are many symptoms of pituitary damage, and I just encourage you to check those out. Just research it and see if that might be an issue for you. If you want specific, like a specific list, in the book called Taming the Dragon, where this information came from, on page 13, there is a list of things that could cause pituitary damage, okay? So on your menu here, on your printout, there are a few things recommended for the pituitary that will support. So it could, taking frankincense essential oil, my absolute favorite, and lavender, so 1 drop of each, and applying it to the roof of your mouth 4 to 5 times a day. So that's just simply putting a drop on your thumb and applying it to the roof of your mouth. Okay, so due to the high lipid content in the brain, omega Gi's, which I have here, is also super important. Omega Gi's is a daily supplement, and dragons love fish. So providing it with the vital essential fatty acids, feed the pituitary, and it'll help assist in healing. So everybody almost breathing should be on a good fatty acid. So omega Gi's combines the power of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D3, and CoQ10. So it's like 3 supplements in one. Okay, so next up is the thyroid. So dragons have voracious appetites. This can also be called hangry. Okay, so under the direction of the pituitary, the thyroid secretes hormones, primarily thyroxine, that boosts the metabolism and virtually every cell in the body. If the thyroid does not send out the correct amount of thyroxine, the other endocrine glands won't be stimulated to produce their hormones. So it's kind of like this chain reaction that happens. So a slow metabolism can cause weight gain, while fast metabolism can cause excess hunger. The thyroid may malfunction in being under or overactive. An overactive thyroid, an underactive thyroid is more common. Many people complain of major depression or mental issues, not realizing that they actually have hypothyroidism. And after a visit to a medical doctor, usually end up just on antidepressants, but oftentimes it can be thyroid issues. So other symptoms of this would include fatigue, weakness, memory loss, weight gain, hair loss, decreased libido, and more. So this also is details from the book Taming the Dragon. If you want to jot down, it's on page 16 that has more details. Awesome. So these symptoms may or may not be present, and some are milder than others. If you do blood tests to investigate your health, remember what is considered normal on a lab test, and that the lab tests, they are on a bell curve, which is the average of the local population, not necessarily what's normal. So just keep that in mind. So if it does not speak to what your personal health parameters are, make sure you do some more research. Your personal health may fall outside of the bell curve, and only you have the power to research more and ask more questions to figure out what is the right for you. So definitely make sure you are your own advocate for that. Okay, so to help jumpstart the thyroid, the first oil would be Endoflex. This is an amazing oil, plus it smells like so awesome. I love it. I'm just gonna put some on here because, you know, why not? The thyroid also loves myrtle. Oh, and I think I grabbed the wrong one. I don't have myrtle here. It's in my purse as well. So you can use Endoflex and myrtle together, which is a great jumpstart for thyroid. You can apply it on your throat. If you don't see instant results, and if you don't begin to feel better, you want to continue with that program for 4 months to make sure that you don't backslide or have more tissues in the body that need to be healed. So if you don't see immediate improvement, don't be discouraged. You got to give things time. It's not, sometimes you might apply it and for a couple days you'll feel really great and have all this extra energy, but other times it might take a while for your body to do what it needs to do and heal what it needs to heal. Okay. The other thing to note too, myrtle, it's one of those secret oils. It's like my new favorite oil and I really love using it. So not only will it help support your thyroid, but it's so good for the brain. And I'm finding just mental clarity, helping release that brain fog. So I just apply it on my forehead. I love applying it on the back of my neck, crown of my head. It just feels great. So I encourage you guys to check that one out because it is a hidden gem for sure. Okay, next up are the adrenal glands, aka fire breathing. So the adrenals are very busy glands producing the whole host of hormones that play a large role in regulating the body's systems. Adrenaline is one of the most well-known hormones that gives the body energy to get up and go. The adrenals are also important for controlling blood pressure, sweating, and a lot of other activities. So the middle of the adrenal glands produces hormone building blocks for the reproductive system to create male and female reproductive hormones. Whenever there is any kind of trouble with hormones, it's vital to include support for the adrenals in the key treatment plan. So everybody can use adrenal support. Our society and our lives right now, it's super common that people have stressed adrenals. We're in a fast-paced society. We are all very busy. We have lots of things going on. And when we're constantly on the go, the adrenals is one of the first things that just you can really tell goes. So it's important to support that. So the adrenal glands of a person who lives a stress-filled life are constantly secreting cortisol in the effort to deal with the stress, thereby tearing down the muscles and the bones, depressing the immune system, the condition of essentially being always on alert in where of a person can wear a person out over time. Okay, so supporting the adrenals is super important. So on your handout, to feed the dragon every day, we must give the adrenals a plentiful supply of minerals and B vitamins. See that? Super B. Especially B6 at all times. But even more so in the stressful conditions in which so many of us find ourselves in these days, B vitamins are necessary for energy production in the body, for enzyme function, for the nervous system, for neurotransmitters, for muscles to function properly, and for adrenal function. So if you have stress, anxiety, depression, you're tired, increase your B vitamins and see how that helps you. I have had so many testimonials of people just trying Super B and it radically changing their day. A lot of people like to take it after lunchtime. That's when you kind of get that lull in the day. So honestly, if you have not yet tried it, I encourage you to grab some. They are absolutely amazing. Okay, so the other couple things that will help support are nutmeg oil and energy oil, which is in my gym bag. That's where I love to keep energy oil. So they're great for the adrenal points to help heal as well. So if you feed your adrenal glands, adrenal insufficiency will definitely turn around. So to give myself a boost, my energy oil, I keep it in my gym bag. And when I head to the gym, I'll apply it on my back where my adrenals are. And that just gives me like a boost, energy, ready to go, supports those adrenals. Okay, so a little bit more about the Super B supplement. Super B is a comprehensive vitamin complex containing all 8 essentials for energy boosting B vitamins. So it's got B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, and B12. So it was reformulated and now features Oregon FA, which is a natural folate source derived from lemon peels. So a lot of Bs contain folic, which is synthetic. So you definitely want a naturally derived folate in your vitamin. Also has methylcobalamin and more bioavailable source of B12. And it also has bioavailable chelated minerals such as magnesium, manganese, selenium, and zinc. So for kids, you can crush it up. You could chew it, doesn't taste the best, or you can just add it to a smoothie or something. The other source that you could get Bs is, this is a monthly pack called Master Formula, which is a full spectrum multi-nutrient complex that provides vitamins, minerals, food-based nutrient to support general health and well-being. So that is also an option. Okay, where are we on our menu here? Okay, so here's an awesome story. Here's a wow story for you. So I have found, this is from the Inner Transformations book, Inner Transformations Using Essential Oils. This testimonial says, I have found women who have both hypothyroidism and hypoadrenia also have low estrogen levels. After putting them on progestins and sclerescence, I found that they get over chronic fatigue of the hypothyroidism and adrenal insufficiency almost overnight. Crazy. Okay, so we're going to talk about a little bit of this next. So estrogen and progesterone, if not in balance, this is where fire starts. So when we speak of women's hormones, we're referring primarily to estrogen and progesterone. Generally speaking, the majority of women have excess estrogen and a serious deficiency of progesterone. Although a main role of progesterone is to help women get pregnant and stay pregnant, progesterone is critically important in the female body, even for women who are menopausal, who don't have periods, or who have even had a hysterectomy. So, yes, dragons can definitely live to a ripe old age. So progesterone is a neurosteroid, meaning that it is produced in the nervous system in addition to the reproductive system. It has been found to have the ability to carry signals, meaning it is a significant actor in the brain. So for example, in one study, it was shown that a third of epileptic women had low progesterone. Although epileptic medication didn't control their seizures, an increase in progesterone did. Progesterone plays an important role in memory, cognitive ability, and questions have arisen about the possibility that some women with Alzheimer's may simply just have low levels of progesterone. Furthermore, progesterone is found to be a mood stabilizer for those with bipolar and is a great replacement for antidepressants. I'm not telling anyone to go ahead and go off of any medications, such as antidepressants, but please talk to your doctors, talk to your natural health practitioners. This may be the missing link for you. So turning now to the reproductive system, though we find that after birth, the body suddenly goes through this high estrogen state, which is necessary to deliver and to be more balanced state, but failure to increase the progesterone can lead to postpartum blues and low milk supply in new mothers. Progesterone will not harm the baby, therefore, before and after birth, and in fact, it's critical for a healthy embryo. So an important thing to note is that there is an argument against the so-called emergency contraceptive pills, that if there's already a developing embryo, the pills will deprive the progesterone that it has. So and that's kind of how those work. So definitely a really good thing to think about. When I had my first baby, I wasn't quite introduced to Young Living yet. I didn't discover Young Living until she was 5.5 months. But with my second, I didn't clue in until a couple weeks after birth that I was tired. I actually started having night sweats. I wasn't sleeping well, and I started using the Progestins Plus, and it was like a night and day difference within a couple of days. It was incredible. Okay, so let's talk quickly just about the estrogen and the progesterone. So they have to work together. So in the case of the receptors, first estrogen has to attach to the receptors, then the progesterone attaches to the estrogen. So once this attachment happens, the chemical reaction can take place in the cell that the hormones were sent to start. If the progesterone isn't there, the estrogen will inhibit the chemical process, and if it stays long enough without the progesterone attaching, it can incite the cell to mutate and potentially causing tumors or cancer. So when we disrupt this hormonal process, there can be catastrophic stuff going on. So what's on everybody's menu? So you will see Progessence Phyto Plus. It's on the back there. What is estrogen? So estrogen is responsible for feminizing women's bodies. At elevated levels, estrogen exaggerates its normal effects by, for example, making you too fat, or excess weight gain, makes you crave sweets, causing migraines, insomnia, weakened libido, depresses your thyroid, leading to tiredness and lack of energy, and it can promote nervousness and jitters. And if that weren't enough, it stores in our body's fat, the things we go through. But ridding our home of toxic products, so this is like a little dip into why we have chemical-free home. Ridding ourselves of toxic products in our homes becomes incredibly important. So many of the things that we're exposed to every day, like food additives, hormones that are fed to animals that we eat, insecticides, weed killers, plastics, shampoos, the lining in the foods that we eat and the drinks that we consume, cosmetics, detergents, cleaners, they all have the toxic ones have these things or ingredients, or it's like a chemical constituent kind of thing, that it's called a xenoestrogen. So today people have excess amounts of estrogen, and it's because these xenoestrogens are found in our food and in our environment. So the xenoestrogens attach to the estrogen receptor sites on the cells, causing tumors to form, preventing progesterone from being able to attach properly, and this wreaks havoc on our body and has a direct impact on our reproductive system. It's vitally important for us to avoid them. Okay, so it is super, super important to be conscious of like the things that you're putting on your skin, the things that you're bringing into your home. Our skin is the largest organ on our body, so anything we apply to our skin is going directly to our bloodstream. So we want to know what are in our products. So progesterone works to not only restore balance, but also remove toxins from fatty tissues in the body. So estrogen and progesterone in balance make a happy woman. Okay, so here's the tricky one. Infertility. We have a few comments. So infertility has become a pandemic in the United States and in Canada. And ironically, our abortion-plagued society, there are innumerable amount of women who want children and can't get pregnant. So in the book, Taming the Dragon, the author says, I have found in my practice that most women who cannot get pregnant have problems with their bowel and their liver function. It might seem odd, but stagnant bowels send toxins in the uterus, and manufacturing livers causes hormonal imbalance. Malfunctioning livers cause hormonal imbalance. The author claims that out of the hundreds of women that she's helped in her clinic become pregnant, only 5 after being properly taught to cleanse, 5 were only not able to get pregnant. And there were 5 women that didn't. They were all sisters and all had emotional issues that they were not ready to deal with. So it's twofold of, the things going on in our body that are causing toxins, and also our emotional state that can cause and wreak havoc on our body. So unfortunately, modern Western medicine typically looks at the reproductive system in cases of infertility, and we've forgotten the importance of our livers, role as a major hormonal balancer. We've forgotten the importance of the liver's role as a major player in our systems. So one of its many jobs is to destroy excess used hormones so that there aren't too many floating around in the bloodstream, which would cause the hypothalamus to fail to signal the pituitary gland to create fresh new hormones. If there are too many hormones in the body, it becomes unbalanced and symptomatic. So other important factors in the body's capacity to make hormones is the liver's ability to process fatty acids. Our bodies need enough healthy fats to work properly, and this can be found in supplements such as flaxseed oil, evening primrose oil, and healthy fish oils or omega fatty acids. So other problems hindering fertility are also can originate in the digestive tract itself. So if digestion is a problem, one may consider an enzyme to help break down and absorb proper nutrients. If the colon is sluggish or clogged, toxins can leach from it into the nearby tissue of the reproductive system and contaminate so it can't function properly. So the good news is that it takes only 3 to 6 months to do a colon and a liver cleanse for women to help restore your body. Okay. Hope you guys are hanging in there. It's a lot of information. We're almost done. Okay, so one of the most amazing oils, Progestins Phytoplus. So essential oils are homeostatic, meaning that they bring balance to the body. This is crucial. So the difference between essential oils and pharmaceuticals, essential oils do not force change on the body. They're simply promoting healthy state. So it's not going to make your body do anything it shouldn't. Essential oils evoke a hormone-like response in the body. Some essential oils will act as estrogens at one time and other times act like progesterone, depending on what your body needs at that time. So in other words, the oils don't stimulate estrogen unless it actually needs to be stimulated. So my friend Debbie, this is her testimonial. So she likes from day 1 to 7, she uses Dragon Time essential oils around her ankles twice a day. And then she takes Progestins Phytoplus as needed for like headaches, mood swings, aches, pains, or any PMS-like symptoms. So Progestins Phytoplus is a micronized human bioidentical progesterone derived from wild yams in a base of vitamin E and Vitex oil. It also contains frankincense, bergamot, clove, peppermint, and it helps to assist and enter the cells more easily for additional benefits. So this is a testimonial, using progestins is one of the most health promoting things that a woman can do for her body. So it works wonderfully for teenagers as well as women of menopausal age and women in those in-between ages. Okay, so it's extremely important that menopausal women, including those who've had particularly or complex hysterectomies, to be using Progestins Phytoplus. You aren't making as much progesterone anymore, and the ovaries and the lining of the gut and the adrenals are still pumping out estrogen, so it needs to be balanced. So a few points about Progestins Phytoplus. It's safe to take during pregnancy, safe to take while breastfeeding. If you're on a birth control, I would likely say no and consult a healthcare practitioner about that. If your symptoms increase or you become nauseous, you might need to take a little bit more because that indicates that your progesterone levels are very low. It's definitely not for men, so just a women-only product. And it's best to start slowly with Progestins Phytoplus and use it symptomatically. So use a drop or two on your carotid artery, adjust as necessary, and experiment. Some women apply to the backs of their knees, their wrists, their forearms. Some will apply it constantly all month, and others will take a week break during their cycle. So every dragon is different. You need to experiment and just do some research about your own body, maybe consult your healthcare practitioner And at that right time of the month, the doctors will recommend when it's optimal to get blood work done. And you can get a blood panel on all your hormones and kind of see exactly where they sit and what you need. So as you use Progessence Vital Plus, you may feel more joy, your libido may rise, your periods may be better and with less bleeding. Some have said that they have an increase in energy, experienced weight loss, have better bowel and bladder function, and many women enjoy amazing results from this product. So for some, it happens quickly, and for others, it takes a period of weeks or months. Remember that it takes 4 months to create new tissue. It's okay either way. Each of us is unique, and each of us has just different body makeup, and things act differently. So keep it up. The body is healing what it needs to heal first to survive, and then it works on healing the rest, or the next most important. So taming your inner dragon every day by taking care of your hormones along with the right food, the right exercise, and the right amount of rest will allow you to lead a nice, gentle, and more human life. You'll be happier, and so with those around you. Awesome. So that is all of our content for our hormone class tonight. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I encourage you to do some research. If you guys are in the Central Alberta region, I can definitely recommend, we have an awesome MD, we have an awesome functional practitioner, there's great naturopathic doctors in our area, even things as simple as dental health. We now have a natural dentist that does things as natural minded as he possibly can, and just all of those aspects of your life and taking care of you. Because if you are not taking care of yourself and making sure that your body is functioning properly, how are you ever going to care for those people around you? It is so, so important. So I would love, of course, we always have some giveaways, but in order to be entered into the giveaways, I would love you to share either a testimonial of something that has helped you with your health and wellness. So maybe it's an essential oil with emotions, or just something with energy, any of that you can just share with other women. Or just something new that you've learned tonight that you'd be interested in trying out. So pop that in the comments. I have 2 awesome giveaways. One is these really cute little nesting dolls. There's a bunch inside, and they work as little diffusers. You can put oil on them. So I have this nesting doll set with a bottle of joy, because everybody needs a little more joy in their life. So in order to enter that giveaway, make sure you comment below. And our second giveaway, because you know what, as women, sometimes, we don't have the best days, and we just need to have some TLC for ourselves. And one of the things I love to do to care for myself outside of, journaling and reading and praying and processing is to do some things that make me feel good. And one of those things is this art beauty mask. You can wash your face, you can put it on, you leave it on for about 20 minutes. It feels amazing. Your skin will love you. Your emotions will love you, because you will feel refreshed and beautiful. And so that is our second giveaway. So 2 things tonight. So make sure that you share with us in the comments just what you learned, something that's helped you, any sort of tips. This is a community of women and men, but we are here to lift each other up and all rise together and learn together and educate together. So yes, please share your tips. If this has helped you, please tag a woman in your life in this video, share it with them, because we want to help other people too. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care.